Hi.
How's it going?
Awesome.
Great.
I never want to leave.
Yeah.
Weird. Like I had to make myself go out on New Year's Eve.
It's hard to go
I
to
wanted
work.
to stay home.
Rita really got to know us through the whole process. It wasn't just, let me show you every house. You can afford this one, let me show you this one. It was like, we would walk in and we'd see a house and she would know. She'd give us a look like, you guys aren't feeling this, are you? And we'd, and we were on that level, and it was just, you really don't get that kind of, connection with anybody, just, shopping in a store, buying a car, like, and we could just tell that you were looking out for us and that you knew what we wanted.
And it's the most important thing you're going to buy.
It's
the biggest purchase you're going to make.
We had a dream of, having a really nice house, a nice kitchen. We could put a bar in our basement, and Rita would look around the room and go, you can't put a bar in here, and we'd be like, you're right, let's get out of here.
How are you gonna play Pong in here?
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Play Pong in here.
Everything that we wanted, she was on par with. You were on, it was great.
Yeah.
Well, we were friends for a long time. We were dating. We got engaged. So we felt like it was time to, leave the nest and start, and get a home for ourselves. We went to many, many open houses.
He was the king of looking for open houses and like figuring out which ones we'd look at and constantly checking like the apps on his phone.
Right.
I think he still checks the apps on his phone.
Right,
wow.
Just to see what's on the market.
Right.
I'm
interested in it now.
He wants to know what all the other houses sold for.
It's like contagious, trying to like keep up with what's getting listed, what's getting taken off, price is going up and down. 30.
I was gonna say 100.
I think 30 is a real number. I mean, we wanted to stay in this town, so every open house that came up, we went to. So,
but we didn't look at any outside of the town, so I guess it wasn't as many as it seemed. Like.
It just seemed that way.
Yeah. Well, I saw it before he did, and I liked it more than I thought I would. And I went through the basement. I was like, "What? There's this much room?" Like.
That was the first thing for me
surprised.
too. It was, the first, and I wanted to see it initially. The first thing I thought of was that the pictures didn't do it justice. I mean, it's hard to really capture, what a room looks like, just by a picture. We definitely see the value in our house. What's the first rule of real estate? Location, location, location. So we looked at other houses, and they were great houses, but the streets weren't great. One was like a really busy street. One was a couple of feet from the highway. The houses were fantastic, but the street that we chose here is just awesome.
You can change like the insides of the house. You can't change where it is. You're stuck there. Like if you don't like that location, you're probably going to move in a few years if you're not comfortable with it.
And even more so than just what's inside the house, the guts of the house. We looked at the potential too of the house. When we came in, we didn't say we love the kitchen or we hate the kitchen, so we're going to not take the house or take the house. We looked at the kitchen and said, well, we could do X, Y, and Z and make it our own kitchen,
And with the basement, a big thing was not having flooding in it. We looked at a couple of houses where it was like, you could see the water damage, you could see it was going to be an issue. You heard stories from other people, and even the neighbors would be like, oh yeah, we're making sure it doesn't flood, but then why would I live there?
Yeah, that was a little discouraging.
Yeah.
We would say that our expectations of Rita were incredible. And I've told Vanessa this 100 times over, and she's probably sick of hearing it. And I've told everybody, all my friends who are buying houses, they're probably sick of hearing it, that every single time I called, you answered. Every time I texted, emailed, spoke signal, carrier pigeon, whatever it was, you answered immediately. Yeah.
It's never like, oh.
We were never lying in wait. We were never like, I wish Rita would get back. Even when we put the offer in, I mean...
But that's...
you can't beat that.
And that's a big part with, like, buying the house. You can't, like, take your time. Once you decide, you need to, like, move. We've had other friends where they ended up in bidding wars and didn't get the house.
And that was something she said to us, too. When we find the one, we'll move quickly, we'll move fiercely, and we'll get it. And I love that. That was probably my favorite thing that you've said. When we get it, we'll attack right away and we'll get it.
And do you remember?
We did write a letter. We wrote a letter to the seller, and kind of put, wore my heart on my sleeve, and told them what we wanted and what we had to offer and what we could do, and it was so nice because especially when we put the offer in, with the letter, the response from the seller and the seller's agent was great, and I really feel like that got us to where we wanted to be and where we needed to be, really.
I think we weren't prepared when we first started looking at houses. We were like, right. we would be hanging out with our friends and we'd say, oh, we have, $10,000, we're ready. And they go, no, you're not. Are you serious? That's not enough money. And then once we met you and started working with you, you made us much more prepared. You made us aware of a lot of things that we were like,
and the best part about the preparation was that it was always one step at a time. We need you guys to do this. Then after you do this, you need to do that. And everything was just so like, in sequence that everything worked out the way it was supposed to because we followed your instructions, Well, we were so excited just to start the process of buying a house. And thank God you were there to always go, well, let's take a step back, We went to our first house with you and we're like, we'll take it, what are we gonna do, It's not that simple, it's not that simple. And
even when our parents walked through, we were like, I don't even want to hear what's wrong with it. I just love it. I want to buy it. And we're like, this is like what was it, like the third house we looked at?
Yeah.
It wasn't even that many.
But more importantly, though, as far as setting us up for success with buying the house, you put us in touch with so many great people to lead us there. Definitely. Like we truly feel that you assembled such a good team between our lawyer, the broker. I mean, just a fantastic team of people to get the job done. We were so
that made a big difference.
Everything, and everybody was so swift in response and so good at managing, our probably at this point looking back on unrealistic expectations of buying a house. We've been recommending you since we started working with you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.